what's up? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Francis and I am so happy to be with you guys here today. Hi everyone, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Francis and I am here today to talk to you guys about books that save you time. Every one of us nowadays has a tight schedule. Most of the days you just cannot find the time to pick up a book, sit down and enjoy it properly. You always have to go catch a bus, you have to go to work, you have to go to school. It gets hard. The first thing I want to talk about today is how do you find books that save you time? Of course, if you want to buy a book, you have to go to a store, you have to go to the internet, you have to go somewhere to buy this book. So when you get there, how do you guide yourself? How do you find this book in the middle of thousands and thousands and thousands of them? So I have some tips, some suggestions here for you to do just that. So the first thing you do is when you go into the store, you are going to be looking for this book, this specific book. And of course, you don't have a lot of time. So what are you going to look for? First tip is do not ever just look at the cover, read the synopsis, pick it up and go buy it. You might have a surprise when you get home, and not a good one either. So the shit you just made, you'll have to clean it up. You'll have to read the big book that you yourself bought. So the first thing is do not ever just pick the book and take it. Open it. Just open it. It's not a lot of work. Read a little bit of the book at the store. When you open it, this is what you have to pay attention to. The chapter to page count ratio. How many chapters does the book have? And how many pages? So sometimes you'll pick this book up and it has 600 pages and 20 chapters. You'll know that this is a bit of a harder book to read already from the start. If the book, on the other hand, has like 300 pages and 100 chapters, then you'll know this book is a lot easier to read. Why is this? This book is gonna have a lot more checkpoints for you to just stop there and keep going after without a lot of effort. Take a close look at how many chapters and how many pages the book has. It can have 500 pages, but if it has 200 chapters at the same time, it's gonna be a lot easier and faster to read. The second thing is, take a look at the size. You see this book right here has almost 400 pages. And you look at the chapter count and it has 122 chapters. So you know from the beginning this should be a lot easier to read. The second thing you look at, the space between the letters, the size of the letters, the margin between the lines. If it has a lot of blank spaces in the page, if it has a lot of drawings, if it has a lot of unused pages, these pages are gonna count in the page count. These pages you're gonna jump and it's gonna make it a lot easier for you to read the book. If the letters are bigger, your brain is gonna have a lot less problems with deciphering them, with deciphering the story. So it's gonna leave you less tired, it's gonna save you time, it's gonna make it a lot easier if you wanna pick up the book later. And it has that 100 and something checkpoint for you to just stop, take a gas break, and then you hit the gas right after and you go on to the next chapter and the next chapter and the next chapter. Just to give you an idea, this book having 120 chapters and 400 pages, it goes to like 3 to 4 pages a chapter, which is nothing. You can read this so fast, especially when it looks like this. You'll read these 2 pages in 1 minute or less. Do not exclude big books just because they are big and you think they're not gonna be light. Open the book. For you to judge a book, you have to open it. Do not judge it by its cover. The last tip that I have for you guys is pay close attention to the damn author. Pay attention to the author. The author has a style, okay? Every bigger author, every author that is established into the industry has a style, a writing style. This is so important. Why do they do this? Why do they have this writing style? First thing, they have discovered what they love to do. So they will keep on doing it every single book they write. Second thing is, they are established. The writer is gonna know that the readers are expecting this kind of writing, this kind of story from them. Another kind of writing style might come across in a bad way, and it might hurt the author's career. It's like posting videos on YouTube. If you post every time at the same days and the same hour, your usual viewers are going to know when to come find your video. This is gonna make it so that you have a lot more views a lot faster, because the usual viewers are all going to be there waiting for it to come out. Look at the author. The author is so important. Look at it. That's it for the tips, guys. Now I'm gonna have some guidelines on where to find these books. What kind of books are they? Where does it make sense for them to be hiding? The first tip is look for young adult books. Of course, this is a general tip. This does not mean that every YA book is gonna be light, but there is a reason for this. The younger you are, the shorter your attention span is. So when you are writing for young adults, especially when you are writing the first 1 or 2 books in your series, you are going to want to captivate the reader. You are going to want to keep them there reading your book. So the first books in the series, or the books that are solo and not in the series, are going to be a lot lighter than the ones that are later in the series, or than the ones that are meant for adults. This happens with Harry Potter. The first book is a lot lighter than the last ones. Second tip, look for fast-paced books. These are books with a lot more twists. They are really closer together. If a book is fast-paced, it means that it's gonna get to the goal a lot faster. So it means it's gonna be a lighter book to read. Some suggestions for fast-paced books are books with a lot more action, maybe detective books. They are just faster, they are just easier to read. You finish it, you buy the next one. So look for fast-paced books. They are usually lighter, even if they look this big. And of course, as usual, when you are looking for fast-paced books, look for the author. I'm holding right now a James Patterson book. He writes fast-paced books. That's all he does. This, like I said before, is a 100 and something chapter book, and it has not even 400 pages. So it's so fast-paced that this is easy to read. People enjoy the story. They don't get bored because the plot twists are always happening. They're always there. Everything is always twisting every time, so you never get bored. It's a fast read. You finish it fast. You can read it on the bus. You can read it on the way home. You can read it at work, like really fast. You pick it up, you read a chapter, and nobody even sees it. You can read it anywhere. Seriously, it couldn't get easier than this. Now, for a last little tip, if you still want to buy a thinner book, if a smaller book's cover catches your eye or something like that, go back to the opening stage. Seriously, know what you are getting into. This book you can read a lot faster than this one. A lot of things to consider between these two books are: Oscar Wilde is a classic writer. The older writing styles tend to be chunkier than the modern writing styles. So when you look at a smaller book, just pay attention to if it is a classic, because if it is, it'll probably be a lot chunkier. It'll probably be a lot harder to read, especially because of vocabulary, word use. But of course, most of the times you still want to buy them. Be prepared for the fact that this book takes a lot more time to read than this one. This book, it took me like 2 days to read. This book took me a whole week. And I was reading non-stop, but it's really hard. If you get interrupted, it'll be a lot harder to get into it again. And we're talking about people with not a lot of time in their hands. Is this the book for you? Do you want to take that risk or not? That was the video for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was useful for you, because I know how hard it is nowadays to pick up books for you to read. It's so hard sometimes. So, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you take some of these tips. Of course, if you have some suggestions, some comments to make, something you don't agree with even, leave it down in the comments. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!